Welcome, everybody, to the 2025 Derby City Classic. This is the final of 3 divisions. It is the 9-ball division, and we are in round number 8. I am your host, Scott Frost. Thank you all very much for joining us. This is a matchroom ranking event, a WNT ranking event. The 9 is racked on the spot, breaking from a break box. It is rack your own. No pattern racking allowed, and the 2 must be racked randomly and never in the back. Jump cues are allowed, cue ball fouls only, and the 3 foul rule is in effect. As you see on your screen, we've got 2 world-class players. One, racking the balls, is Pia Filler, the better half of Joshua Filler. And don't worry, she is a world-class player on any tour. And then the challenger is Tyler Styer. Tyler Styer from America, Wisconsin, to be exact, and a world-class player of his own. Tyler Styer does have a loss. This is a double elimination event, but they redraw every round. Like I said, it is a WNT or World 9-Ball Tour matchroom ranking event. So they could play each other back-to-back, possibly 3 times, whether the bye is in effect or not. Pia Filler, no losses so far in this event. Already into round number 8. One thing we will see is that they work pretty hard on racking the balls. Getting them frozen makes a difference. A little shake of the head there. She is intent on how she wants them. Go ahead and look at the numbers. Pia Filler, they've got her at 14% to win this match. I can tell you, I think that number's off. She is a great player, especially after the break. Let's see how she hits them. Well, that's not a good sign for Pia. The 1 lays up down in the corner here. The goal is to make the 1 on the right-hand side or make the wing ball. She did neither or. And this is a great opener for Styer. Oh, really? 2 leads to the 3. Where is the trouble? Possibly the green 6. Meaning the 5 to the 6. And got right where he really didn't want to get. This is the only angle I have to work with. It's not the worst by any means, by far the best angle. But he looks to be a little straight. Luckily the 3, pretty wide open there. It's going to draw out. Handled perfectly. Really could just stop right there if he'd like. Some type of an angle to where he doesn't have to contest with the maroon 7. Going forward. Yeah, he'd like some type of an angle here, whether it's to the left of the 4 or to the right of the 4. I don't know that he wants to be dead straight. Might not be the worst. Yeah, he can get past the 7 here. Really, though, kind of been in a little bit of a trick bag since the 1 ball. So now he has to get down past the 5 to get to the 6. Yeah, and I believe he's there. Absolutely perfect. Tyler, very good fundamentals, and I believe he's continued to improve every year as a player. And as soon as I brag on him, he comes up a little bit weak here. It almost looked like he raised up before contact, meaning the body. Going back on his fundamentals, though, it seems to have really helped him over the last few years grow as a player. He works extremely hard on his game. Wow, nice hit there. Really thin with an outside cue ball. Checked it up off the second and third rail. Yeah, just one rail up. Has the whole table to work with, just don't want to get short. So not exactly clean. But he's going to get the job done in game number 1. And we'll get a good look at Steyer's break. Tyler Styer leading 1-0. Pretty thin here on the 5. Excuse me, on the 6. He had to really spin this ball in. Yeah, watch the cue ball in the lower right corner. It really takes checking it off this second, third rail, or third and fourth rail, excuse me. Nice recovery. They are breaking, as I said in the beginning, from a break box. It's a little different than the Matchroom break box. Matchroom's break box is from each diamond, left and right of the center diamond, directly to the 1. So it's a pretty small break box, or a little bit smaller than the normal break box that they're using here. Here, you can just take the right diamond and draw a line up to the kitchen line, or the head string, on each side of the diamond, and that's it. The left diamond straight up to the head string, the right diamond straight up to the head string. And that will be your break box for this event. Now Tyler looking to pocket the 1 on the left side, possibly smooth the 8 into the top right corner. Oh, and he did. Does he want the 1 to fall? He's going to get dressed up perfectly. Boy, and the 8 went in clean. A little bit of work getting on the 2. Do you just come to the left side of the table here and take the thin cut? Being that the 3 is over here on the lower right end. I think that's the play. Don't want to get yourself in any trouble. Tyler at times will choose a little bit different pattern than a lot of players. It's what works for him. He's looking at the gap there. I feel like that's a dangerous gap versus being anywhere on the left side of the table taking a thin cut on the 2. Maybe the gap is bigger than it looks. And he felt good with it. He's done very good with it. Can't really get anywhere on the 3 due to the 4 being in the upper right. Straight in works. Yeah, so alleviated a lot of the work just finding the gap on the 1. Excuse me, on the 2. Yeah, nice and solid there, very still. Probably got a little more out of that than he'd expected. He is not left-handed. Going to the side pocket, I believe. It might end up in the corner. Does it play to the corner? If he's looking at the side, it tells me the corner might not be available, this lower right corner. Good, obviously either it's real tight or he's milking it. One of the two. Going to the corner. A lot less cue ball movement this way. Did play it to the inside of the pocket. Doesn't really tell us how much he had. Notable win for Styer in round number 3. Did beat Ruslan. Chinahoff. Yeah, favorable bump. Was it necessary to draw that 2 rails? Let's see how he could have gotten much trouble, though. All right, a dry break from Pia Filler. It's now cost her 2 racks. Styer goes up 2 games to 1, 2 games to 0. She is now at 6%. That is a Fargo rating. And here's the draw stroke. Definitely didn't have to whip it around the 9. He knows that, but maybe just trying to loosen up a little bit. Could have got a little tricky on the 7. All right. Conversation. Interesting. See if we can hear them. What I do know is that he said I'm using the same brake. Now I don't know who he was referring to or what he was referring to. I can assure you that there's probably no huge love lost between these two people because of the Moscone Cup and Pia Filler's husband, Joshua Filler, who's done his share of damage over the years. To Team USA, keep your eye on the 5. Okay, it got kissed out. Interesting. 2 and 3 fall. The last time, the 8 went clean in, which would have been the 5 now, and it was going clean, but got the kiss, which is common. I can assure you the 3 and the 1 were not intended in those pockets. I don't believe that he can make the 2 here. Can he chip it up kind of like towards the side and use the 7, 6, and 9? Maybe even the 8. Watch out for the kiss. He avoided the kiss. The speed was nice. I don't think she'll be too upset at it, though. I like possibly coming from the left side, though. I think that you've got a little bit more room for cover. And you're not elevated over the 7 any which way. Easier to hit the 2 this direction, but I don't know if the result percentage is quite as high. Wow, she missed the 2 altogether. She was elevated over the 7. So a couple of mistakes, but nothing major. She just broke dry and then kicked at the 2. And that's all really she's had to look at. Obviously, he's got some work to do still. He just needs to avoid the 7 and 8, really. We'll have to be able to draw between the 7 and 8 if he's got that line. Oh, he can get to the side rail even better. Pius Labutus making an appearance. A little interesting there. It's not going to cause any problems. I thought he might go to the side with the 6. Just pinch the cue ball tight. Making it look fairly easy, though. Ending the cue ball off that first rail. It's common between these rotation players and Styer. After game number 3, leads 3 games to 0. A little interesting banter between the 2 after the second rack, or about the rack. Didn't make the wing ball this time. I don't know if Pia had an issue with the break speed. I would assume maybe that's what it was. Round 6, Tyler beat Jeremy Seaman. As I mentioned before, in round number 4, he lost to Shane Van Bonen. So this is a must-win to keep his hopes alive, and he's doing so pretty good so far. Keep an eye on the 6 and the 1. 6 clean in, the 1. 2 rails down for position on the cue ball. This will do. Yeah, so he is playing the wing ball. The only reason I say that is because of how short the 1 is landing of the side. So this is all by design. Can he get towards that left side pocket to shave the 2 in? Boy, at the line he's looking at, he has to get the real thing of the 2. Dude, where the 4 is at. So So he wants to get past the side here. A little tricky. He said, enough of that. I'm just going to tee it high and let it fly, and that did not work out. Took a chance. Sometimes you have to gamble. This one did not pay off. Yeah, and this is pretty ugly. Can he go 2 rails to the right long rail and then to the short rail? I don't believe it's makeable, but he can kick to the bottom half of the 2. I don't know what good that's going to do him. He could get away with it a little bit. I don't think it's makeable this direction. Pretty certain he can get a good hit, though. Whereas if he goes in the other direction, the hit percentages drop dramatically. I feel like if you kick this way, you've just got to kind of bunt it. And be happy that it just gets to the left long rail near the chalks. You're going to tie the 2 up now. It's okay if you can get it done. Very difficult to 3-foul top players. Tyler Styer on 1. If she can get the 2 past the 4 and weld him up behind it, you've got to keep him from the cross-side kick, though. He can use the left long rail to catch the 2. She did good cutting off the short rail. But he can use this long rail here on the left side. Might have to dig into it a bit, but he's also able to do that because he's got enough cue ball to get into. Can't blame Pia. That's about all she could really do. Alright, this is really her first actual look. It actually might be a little more difficult than it looks on our screen. She wants to stay away from the 8-9, coming back and forth. I think it's a little thinner than it looks to us. Yeah, and if she decides to slow spin it in, she's still got to avoid the bottom of the 9, so I think she's going to level out, which she is. She chose to come back and forth below him. I think it's a real wise decision. But how did she finish here on the 3? Does she have the wrong angle to the corner? Oof. Maybe a little quick there. Timing just looked off in that final swing, but Can't tell if she had the right angle or not because of how poorly she hit the 3. Must have had a decent angle if she felt she could cut the 4. Just a miss hit. A little tricky here. Kind of a blind hit, but he's close to it. Just squeezed it in to the bottom edge of the pocket. Tyler looks to have the speed down quite well, though. These tables have played extremely fast all week. They've played great. Speaking of that, playing on a 9-foot diamond, pro cut pockets. I tell you what, you've got to hit the pocket clean. 4.5-inch pockets, but the shelves are very deep. And the cut of the diamond table is what makes it such a great table. Aramith balls, Simone's cloth, 860, tournament blue. Styer going to increase his chances of winning this match. Now leading 4 games to 0. It's just been one of those matches from the very get-go when Pia broke dry. Fargo now has her at 2% to win the match. Let's see if Pia has anything to say about the break shot. And it looks like she is going to plead the 5th or remain silent. Last year, 2024, Styer had a fairly good year. Ended up winning the Chuck Markoulis. Paid $5,000. Also won the Midwest Expo there at Big Dog Billiards in Des Moines, Iowa. And once again, corner ball is down, position on the 1. Watch the 2. Nice and clean. He's swinging the cue ball 2 rails. Playing the 1 ball, 1 rail in position here on this lower right corner with the yellow. This layout is sweet. No trouble. The 4 to the 5. And he is home free. Year 2024, he made the finals of the McDermott Classic as well, pocketing $6,000. The Midwest Expo, like I said, cleared $8,200 there. Had a good year. His game's improved every single year. He's done better every Moscone Cup as well. Seems to just get more and more comfortable with that event. Now, if he wins this game, where Pia dropped to 1% and Tyler to 99, that would be pretty wild. Yeah, notice the cue ball just continues. This cloth is stretched very well. A lot of people in the background watching this match. Pia has no losses, like I mentioned. She has played very well so far. Believe it or not, in this format, she could do the same thing to Tyler. She plays that good. And she is now at 1%. Tyler Styer, you know, if you're in the know amongst the top players, really not too many players work harder on the break and racking the balls than Tyler. He is very good. Puts in a lot of time, a lot of work. Keep your eye on the 4. Oh, with a little speed this time. And 1 caught the point of the left side. He's going to end up with a really good look to the corner. And the 4 actually got a little rub from the 3 there. See the spin or the rotation on the cue ball. He's using a little bit of outside. Really all about this shot right here. Natural to the 2, so I guess the 3 to the 5 is their problems there. I don't see it. Yeah, do you come all the way around for the 5 with the 3? And Tyler, he will. Is he drawing this to get closer? I felt like you could get in a little bit of trouble there instead of going forward. He will choose a little different pattern from time to time than a lot of the guys. It works for him. I do feel there are times where it makes it a bit tougher on himself. I think that's what we all do as pool players. Okay, thread the needle between the 5 and 6 into the 9, and everything opens up like the Red Sea. This is kind of how it goes in the pool world. When you're playing good, good things happen, and Tyler is playing well, breaking well. Pia can only sit and wait for her opportunity. those to go to the side. I don't think the percentages can really get any steeper. Styer wins game number 6, and here's where the trouble started. The low outside ball. Wanted to get a little closer to his work. He did just that. Ended up real steep on the 3. This is where he threads the needle. I mean, threads the needle. Pretty certain he was looking to make contact on either one of the green 6 or the 5. And you gotta wonder, when you have a magic rack, shouldn't they all already be frozen? What are all the rubs and tubs for? Game number 7, Styer to break. Pia looking to do anything to get off of 0. But she has no control at this point. There is the kiss from the 4 to the 7. The 3 still falls. And he's got a perfect look at the 1. Keep your eye on the 7, the 4. Knocks it out. The 1 kisses the 3. And everything rosy for Styer. Just what's going on. Fairly steep on the 5. 6 does play in the left side. I will be honest. The way Pia has been playing this event, I did not expect. 6-0 lead. About to be 7-0 from Styer. But he has broken basically flawlessly. The most important shot in any American cue sport is the break. And that is what he has done very well so far. Styer now stretches the lead to 7-0. Pia looking for a lifeline at this point. See the people walking in the background. There is a black curtain at the left of our screen that tells us that the TV table is to our left. The big match must have just got finished there. Derby City Classic is full of excitement. First event is bank pool. The second event is one pocket. And we finish up with the 9-ball. Keep your eye on the blue too. He might experiment with the break at this point. Yeah, not much experimenting. Position on the 1 in the lower right corner has been the story. The 3, I believe, got kissed in. And there you have it. Can he draw out and get somewhat flat on the 2 to hold for the 4, or do you just come out to the center off of the 2 for the 4? So a little work to do here. Yeah, and that's the line he's looking at, which would tell me that he's going to play the 4 in the top left corner, but come out to the center of the table with the cue ball. Yeah, he didn't mind the distance. Felt like you could have got a little more towards the center of the table there. Watch out, 8. Watch out, 8. And I kind of feel like that was a result, not picking on Tyler, but a little bit of a result just taking so much distance on the 2, because if you catch it a bit full, you're going to lose that gap between the 8 and 9, and that's what's happened. Therefore, you'd like to be a little bit closer to judge how thin you're catching the 2. Going to kick behind this. I'd love to stick behind the 5 of a high ball. Well, how about stick behind the 9? How about just go in? Well, you got to show us one, Tyler. Go ahead and bank the 5 in. Come around. You got back up with the 6 and 7 where it is, or is this too steep? Could pin her up behind the 7 and 9, or the 7 or 9. I believe he's going at the bank. Tell you what, it's not the worst by any means. I don't know if he's got her snookered or not, but very good control of the 5. And this is what you've got to look at if you're Pia Filler after 7 games. Pretty quick down on the ball. And try to use the 7 here possibly. Well, the ball does cut, does bank. Elevated, tells me he's going to look at the bank. How does this finish? Nothing easy. Get the bridge out quickly. This is all about just getting the 5 down. I don't think you can too much worry about what the cue ball's doing here. Hope to avoid the 9. Great hit. And that was always the problem, right? Catch a piece of the 9 on the wrong side of it. Par for the course. for filler. She'd love to bury the 6 here. She has not had a chance to break the balls this entire set. And that was kind of what I was talking about with the pockets there. Pretty cold-blooded. Caught it a little thin. That's why it was held up. Really, any contact here, he should be good. How about perfect? So Pia was looking at her first opportunity to break. Basically in 8 racks. It didn't happen. Styer with an opportunity to actually win this match 9-0, which is just not something any of us could have predicted. These 2 balls to get to 8-0. And that is our score. I can assure you, if Fargo had half percentages, or quarters, or tenths, that's where Pia would be. Is this the final time? We can talk about Steyer's break. Well, it will be for sure, because he needs 1 game. Keep your eye on the 3 and the 1. Clean with the 3. Got a kiss on the 1. With the cue ball. Does the 1 pass the 7? Drew the cue ball 1 rail directly into the yellow 1. The 1 does clearly play into the corner, but adding insult to injury, if it passed in the side, that would be devastating at this point. Nobody wants to lose 9-0. And he is just going to bury her. No mercy. He has done very well at that. You've got to tip your hat to him. He's played a very good match. He's broke even better. She did have a 2-ball kick earlier in the match, and it was really a high percentage kick to hit. This one, not quite as high percentage. The one of the 2 balls she missed. Okay, she's made a nice hit. I don't know what it's going to do for her. really just about getting on the 4 here. Is he gonna spin this with inside and come 3 rails instead of just over and back? Yes, he is. Getting cute. Less cue ball movement. If you want to play the 4 in the right side, you can come above the 6, play it in the top right corner, come out towards the center and play it in the top left corner. You've got options. I feel like below the 4 is probably safest. Looks like he's going to key up with power. Okay. Oh, we can get a piece. The inside of the cue ball. He chooses. This is where you really have to rely on the back arm, staying straight. How did he do? Wow. What happened there? She's saying that he hit the 5 with his cue. There was a flinch. He was quick with the stroke, but we're only playing cue ball fouls. The cue ball was in front of the 5. So I don't know that it really did move the 5. But it wasn't in the path of the cue ball if we're playing cue ball fouls. That's my opinion. Yeah, and she knew that as well. She just wanted to make sure that it was cue ball fouls only. So a classy response by Pia Filler. And a classy performance by Tyler Styer. I don't know how many players would have beat him this set, to be fair. But it was basically flawless. The heart rate got up a little bit overpowered there. Styer is going to make it to round number 9, and a big win there, 9-0. Pia Filler, well, she is still in this event. That is her first loss. Good luck to both of these players. Thank you all so much for tuning in tonight, and we will talk to you real soon.